Just walking in the rain, getting soaking wet. Remember that song from so many years ago? And when it is raining in Cebu City, probably other cities as well, taxis are in short supply. There's a long line of people waiting for the taxis, especially close to rush hour, like it was this evening. And I had an umbrella, usually carry one, and decided just to walk. But boy, I tell you, I really suggest that you get a very, very good pair. Spend a couple $100 or more if you have to. Get a good pair of something like deck shoes or something with soles that are very good on slippery surfaces, because you can be walking and think you're on pretty good solid ground and you've got a good grip, and you'll change. It'll turn to tile or a different type of brick, and man, your feet will slip out from under you very quickly. Anyway, in this video, I want to give you a little bit of updates what's going on in my life here in Cebu City, and come along for the walk if you have time. Anyway, many of you know that I had a motorbike, a Rusi 250, for a couple of years. Enjoyed riding it, although I rarely rode it in the city. Crazy, crazy traffic here. I would take a trip out to the province occasionally, not nearly as often as I wish I would have. Anyway, a little less than a year ago, I was walking downtown later at night, and I tripped. These sidewalks are quite a bit of an obstacle course. I tripped over something, went down fast and hard, and I broke my shoulder, dislocated my left shoulder, busted the ball joint in two or even more places. Was in the hospital for 5 days, 2 of those days just waiting for them to schedule operating nurses who are in short supply apparently. And about $1,000, 50,000 pesos worth of titanium later, and I'm back up and running. He said, don't move your shoulder for 2 months. And that's pretty difficult to do, not move your shoulder. But anyway, here we are, I don't know, 10 months later, something like that. And my shoulder, I do a little bit of exercising and stretching and that type of thing. But my feeling is that, the doctor said, in the end, he said it was broken much worse than the x-rays showed, and we put you back together as best we could. That kind of told me that maybe there's going to be problems down the line. And on a follow-up visit a couple months later, I asked him any chance of replacing that, putting a new shoulder in there, and he said not in the Philippines because of your age. Well, in the U.S. they do it. They do it. I've got relatives and friends over 80 years old that they're replacing hips and knees and joints, and so sometime in next year I will check that out, I guess. Anyway, I was as I got a little stronger, I was still able to ride put my once I got my hand on my handlebars, I had good movement. Good movement. I could ride my motorbike. Went for a very short ride with it, and on a Sunday afternoon with very little traffic, I was passing another motorbike. Two guys on a motorbike, young guys, 18-year-old and somebody else, and anyway, his mirror fell off of his motorbike, and his intention was to move over very quickly, to stop and go retrieve his mirror. And anyway, I saw him glance over at me, and I'm passing him, and thought I'm well past him. All of a sudden, bang! I'm laying on the floor with my motorbike on top of me on the road. And apparently he had overcorrected, trying to quickly go to the side of the road, and he knocked my rear wheel out from under me, and we're both down there Philippine National Police came, did a police report. They took us out to the Cebu Traffic Department office out in South Road Properties, down by SM Seaside. Did a police report, explained to him that it was his fault, explained to him why it was his fault, lectured him a little bit, and the guy doesn't have any money or insurance, so I was going to end up paying it. What it did, it broke a bracket or something that kind of holds things together up by the speedometer and the two forks going down, the shock absorbers, the forks, holds all that stuff together. Broke one side of that, and it threw off the alignment of the handlebars to the front wheel was off, and I tried to adjust it a few times and messed around with it, and I don't have space to work on it. I don't have the desire to work on it, start taking things apart, because you're going to have to take quite a number of things apart to get to that piece and move it and put a new piece in there. So I decided to sell it, and we had it up for sale for some time and had many inquiries. Rusi 250 Classic, nice bike, really liked the bike. And the first guy, we thought he had it sold, and then he doesn't have the money. Give me another week or two, and so we waited a couple weeks. And I still don't have the money. I got paid, but it's not enough. And so we finally said, and he hemmed and hawed, and we finally said, just forget it. And I've had a subscriber, good American friend, who had contacted me, and I told him, well, I think it's sold, but then I told him, nope, in fact, it's not sold, and we put the deal together. Yesterday we had a lawyer come up. My girlfriend went and talked to just a bunch of different law offices, and she found down City Hall, downtown Cebu, she found a lawyer who would put it all together, the deed of sale and all the official paperwork, and we've got all the CRs and the ORs and the inspection reports and everything else we need, insurance papers. We had all that put together. So he came to our house yesterday with all the paperwork and got it all done. The buyer from up in Liloan, north of Cebu City, came down. We signed all the paperwork. They hired a kind of a flatbed truck to come down, pick it up, and it is back in Liloan. And for the time being, I'll just rent scooters when I need one. Anyway, this was the view this morning at about 6 a.m. And does that big cloud look like a dog with the snout pointing off to the right or not? And that was the look we had this morning. The forecast was for rain, possibly much of the day, but we haven't got any rain, as a matter of fact. We've got a little bit of cloud cover for a while, but here at noon on a Sunday, this is the view. And it can start off sunny or cloudy and turn the opposite. Go from sunny to cloudy to partly sunny, and rain sometime during the day or during the evening. But life goes on. It usually doesn't rain all day, and very easy to get out and do things you want to do. So, boy, if you've got plans to come to the Philippines, this is the off season, the low tourist season. Basically from March and April on, and you should be able to find some good deals. I get some updates on flights. I'll do another video about that soon. Very low flights. I had a friend who's planned on flying here, told me they got a really good flight coming in on Starlux. They are a low-cost carrier. I think they fly out of LAX, Los Angeles, San Francisco, maybe Seattle. Maybe they'll be adding flights in the future. Not absolutely sure there. This week here in Cebu City, they've got some kind of a lot of sports games, a lot of athletes coming in from different provinces to compete in sports across the city. Anyway, so that's going to be interesting. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Stay safe, safe travels, and I'll see you next time.